attorney, and this is a comment in reference to the soap opera NBC Peacock's family gossip or secrets. That is unbelievable that such tripe could be put out on the air for profit. But that's just about what exemplifies NBC and ABC, government controlled and fake news. Which, in my case, if you look a little bit closer, you'll see that's exactly what it is. The government used these people to try and get a long time established whistleblower and nail him to the wall. But the key on this, I'm trying to remind you, is if you look at what Sarah's introducing to you and reading this, now she's giving you the promise, she's trying to show you how much the government failed to find all the evidence that was there, and she's just reading the same thing exactly that was presented to Maricopa County Attorney Bill Montgomery and Maricopa County Superior Court Judge Sam Myers. I know you get a very sick, unqualified feminist like Alistair Dell, who, for whatever insanity she was in at the moment, where she allowed the weaponization of her office for political purposes and to avenge a lifelong whistleblower, and allows to accept TikTok gossip and a 300,000 signature petition. Folks, that's not the way it's done. That's communism. That's Hitler. That's Mussolini. Russians, China, third world banana republics. We don't do that kind of stuff in this great nation. We stopped doing that since 1692 in Salem, Massachusetts, in the witch hunts, which was made a mockery of the new world until we've had our constitutions, and then these forefathers put together a Bill of Rights that we've been allowed to use throughout the years to get equality for everyone, because America's a melting pot, folks. There are people from all over the world. They got all these traditions, religions, beliefs, holidays, and various other things, and they're allowed to do that in America because of the Bill of Rights. Without that, we'd have had back to 1692 Salem, Massachusetts, witch hunt kind of stuff. It reaches all levels now, all the way to the President of the United States election. But mine is it's a clear-cut case of that. And you think it couldn't happen to you, you're nuts. Of course, you're probably one of those weak, put my head in the sand kind of people that doesn't do anything to preserve the United States Constitution. Probably never wore a uniform, whether it was anything from being a Boy Scout, Girl Scout, Brownie, or a military, or even a police officer. You're just one of those people that sleeps on the blanket that the men and women forfeited their lives, their limbs, and everything else for. That's what's called deadbeats. But there's a lot like that. Don't understand anything, or you're going to support crooked cops like Anderson and Summershoe, and they're painted as heroes. You bet the FBI was proud of them, and they wanted to get me a long time. Department of Justice has, and tried a few times, as well as the city, as well as the county, as well as the state. But those tape recordings have saved my butt many, many times. Now they're gone, and they had to destroy those before 2008. So they could push forward the criminal charges, because my tape recordings would show that this was not only one violation after another of Brady, but the corruption and the conspiracy to use and weaponize the judicial proceedings to nail me to the wall, send me to prison. None of these things were there, and they knew that, but they lied about it. A Superior Court judge, a federal district judge, had a chance to throw this stuff out the window. Anyway, no sense in going over all the hash. What I want to show you is what you're seeing that Sarah's producing for you. It's not the incompetence of this task force. This is, in fact, all that they could find. And she brings up, why didn't you do luminol on truck? They did. It's in their report. Sarah just either missed it or she didn't get a complete copy, because that's when you ask for copies of complete files, there are documents missed. But they did all that. They illuminated hell. They put cadaver dogs all over the place, dug up a lot of yards. Pissed off the whole neighborhood, and they found nothing because nothing happened there. Whatever happened to Alyssa happened obviously after May 24th, 2001. That's the last time I talked to her. That's the last recording of anything that said that a phone call was made. And I tell everybody it's Alyssa, and now we've got this, whatever it is, thing. But the comment that bothers me the most is to see Sarah doing an interview with a man that was Alyssa's biological father, who did harm to his wife, did harm to her brother, or Barbara's mother, and her sister. I mean, what kind of a person would bring back two children drunk on his ass in a two-seater car that are, I mean, so burnt so bad they have to be treated for second-degree burns at the doctor's office the next day because they're just so that miserable to suffer. What kind of a person, is would not want to make some kind of effort to keep from having his parental rights severed? Would not even want to contact his daughter when he's being offered the chance to do that, or even to live with her by the current stepfather. I mean, John's dad, that Steve, said that he didn't care about them. His dad made an effort with John, even helped the family, and now he has established a relationship with John, my adopted son. He's not my adopted son; he's my son. And then to tell these lies about his loving care for John, used to have tape recordings. This man saying John was a horrible kid. That he had to be trained, had to be taken care of, didn't like rules. The way that kid come to me, he was a mess. Even physically, he had this dirt ring around all the way around his neck so bad it took a long time to even get it off. That's a caring father? That's garbage. 5 years he didn't want to even adopt this kid? It just, none of it adds up, folks. It really doesn't. And he loses his cool, and then he cries like a baby because he's charged with aggravated, or whatever it was, assault with a motor vehicle after the city of Phoenix tried to cover it up and call it mutual combat. Then he flees. And then when we try and get a hold of him, he won't even respond, at least by a phone call or something, to say, I'm giving up my rights, I don't want the rights, or no, I want to keep the rights. And he lies to you about it. And Sarah sits there and acts like he's a long-lost father or something. But the shame is Sarah is sitting back and repeating what this man is lying about. Barbara left him. There was no affair. And he's sitting there and letting this man literally call his mother a whore? I mean, this is all wrong for Sarah to do this, to defame the very woman that gave her life, especially when Barbara's not around to defend herself. That's sick stuff. Doesn't belong in the courtroom.